Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, Leo King, and Craig Skidmore here for Deep Love Tarot, your weekly love horoscope for the week of December 7th through the 13th of 2020. Of course, if you have never watched the show before, or if you have, remember this is exclusive from highvibe.tv, the awesome spiritual network that is, of course, on all the apps down below and highvibe.tv. If you subscribe and become a member, you get all the exclusive content like my daily, weekly, and special horoscopes that are every week, especially all your 12 sun sign horoscopes, my weekly intuitive. I've been talking about the periods. I don't know if you just saw, I put up a video somebody sent me that there was UFOs above the pyramids just the other day. Anyway, there's a lot of cool stuff on there. Also, we have her story. We have you know what? There's so many shows. Full disclosure that everybody loves that Craig and I do. We've been having so many guests on. We have so many awesome things. We got Peace Dealers Day, Trigger Tarot Daily. We got tomorrow's daily videos. We got Apollo-Dides daily videos. We got just so much. It's like we got Lisa Marie's stuff on there. It's just so much stuff. It's blowing my mind how much we're doing now.
We also added a section called High Vibe featured free content as well. High Vibe picks featured free content. So if you'd like to go over there and kind of check that out, there are some videos that we have on there that are exclusive for High Vibe members that we have made available for everybody out there. So go check that out. Yeah,
and all the spiritual dance musics are on highvibe.tv for free, and the apps are free. So, just to remind people, if you want to download the app, and if you want to get the notifications, I do cool notifications, download the app. And for those that don't know how to use the notification, if it's not coming through, maybe you didn't push allow, so reinstall the app. And if you're on Android, make sure that you put auto rotate on and you turn it horizontally if you want to read the whole thing. Android's got to update their systems of how to use notifications a lot better. Anyway, this is the show where we're going to go to your love horoscope for this week, and a week of all weeks we are in. Just before we go into this show, how you doing, Craig? It's a big week for you.
Yeah, it is. I'm doing well. I've got a light show going on behind me, so could be worse. It could be worse.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even plan that. That's kind of crazy.
I know. We're getting wild back here. But yeah, big week, heading into surgery in a few days, so gonna be a changed man. So y'all won't see me next week. I'll be there in spirit in the chat harassing people.
Well, I know it's all gonna go well for you, bro, and I know it's gonna make your life better. So I'm happy that you're getting it done, and you got all my support in every way. And everybody out there, it's not even about sending prayers. Just send your extra love this week to Craig as he goes through his surgery. Interesting. You know what? It is a weird, timeless time, if that makes sense. If that even makes sense, right? So I think I should just go right into it. So I'm going to go into the collective reading. I'm going to give you the astrology. Then, of course, we're going to pull all the cards, and we are going to choose your sun sign afterwards. And of course, I do the Astro dice, but with
gold. I love gold chalice.
The gold. I love gold high vibe
all
chalice.
Damn gold in the world.
That's right. And so we're gonna look there. And you know what? I'm gonna have to bring the heat up because it is freezing up in here tonight. So I'm gonna have to get a little bit Leo King crazy for you all because this is some crazy astrology. So I say we go right into the collective, and then we'll go into your sun sign horoscopes, which we randomly pick from there. And once we get 1,000 people live, we do the 1,000 collective reading. So get this thing spread out. Let's roll. Let's get it going. Thank you, Ann. What was the breakthrough moment? Oh, yeah. For hot water.
I never saw anything like that before.
Oh, I love when Libras find things that have been right in front of their face the whole time. All right, so collectively, we are in between eclipses. We have an eclipse on Monday, not this Monday, but the 14th. But before we get to that, we have the sun, the south node meeting up with a square to Neptune. We have Mercury gonna square Neptune. We have the sun gonna trine Mars. This is a lot of energy, especially when it comes to love, of do I take this direction and which one is it and where do I go or how do I deal with it? Am I creating a fantasy story that I don't believe, or is it one that I do believe? We have to get down to the bare necessities. North Node in Gemini, Mars making a nice sextile to that place, Venus in Scorpio making a sextile to Pluto. We have a lot of energy that is sure bets. It's the questions of whether or not we question ourselves, or we go with, well, I should, or it should look like this, or it should look like that. We need to get rid of the shoulds, the woulds, and all these like weird beliefs of how things should look, and just go with our knowing and our gut knowing, our intuitive knowing, because this sun is going to have some trouble with the South Node square Neptune. And you know what? We can deceive ourselves by what we have been programmed of what we think deceiving or we believe deceiving is. We have to go with our knowing of our definition of ourself, and we have to go with our pure knowing of, you know what? We all are human, and we all are at a place in our life where what we want is what we want, and we just have to know that within ourselves. That's not something that comes from our belief. It just comes from our primal energy. Venus and Scorpio, Mars and Aries, they've finished their quincunx, and Venus and Pluto making a nice connection, the sun and Mars making a nice connection. All these energies and these signs are dealing with your primal, core, fiery, and eternal, deep self, not your perspective of what love should be, or what the world, or even what you've been programmed by your mom or your friends or whatever of how love should look, or Match.com commercials, or eHarmony commercials, or The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. That shit is not going to work. So some people's realities will be shattered perspective-wise for love this week because they've been living in that false reality. But I think that there's a lot of positive. So I'm excited. Let's see what the cards have to say, because we are about to hit this big eclipse energy. We got a great sun trine Mars, and even though we got the Neptune energies doing the weird things, I mean, that's for people that fall for the perspective of things instead of just going with the, well, this is just what I fucking know, my truth and my passions, and this is exactly what feels right within my own individual common sense stimulating self. First card that we got is the Six of Cups. Wow, look at are the babies going to be getting down this week? You know, that's a great card. This brings up energy that feels like a safe space, that feels like it's going to create the ultimate memories of our life. And sometimes we have to reflect off, you know, especially in love, you know, if we've had those kind of energies of memories that bring us back to the energy of what that space feels like of love, we can feel that this week. If it's not in that space, don't go there. Like if it just feels like, I don't know, this isn't like going to be my ultimate memory, then you know what? Not worth time. It's not going to be that beautiful space. Our challenge that we got this week is divinity. Wow. So, you know, if you're in a relationship and you guys are on separate belief systems, or, you know, let's be honest, you're with a partner that's not spiritual, or you're trying to date somebody who's not really spiritual, or, you know what, I like to see this challenge cards because it might be that they are, but they don't really apply it every day, or they don't make it their everyday life, or they don't make it. The memories are going to be because it feels like it's divine, not, you know, they're just good memories, you know, like this. And so I would think that the challenge is more about, you know, do people accept you for who you fully are in your divinity, or do they try to control you from their own sense? And that's not divine. And I think that this is about the key to divinity. Our overall that we got here, wow, we got the Four of Wands. This is the marriage card. This is definitely a celebration card. So we got a lot. This is looking really good. I'm, you know, the zombies are having a party. They're eating legs and chopped, you know. Colonel Sanders is going to be, who's playing Colonel Sanders in the remake?
Daisy Slater is going to be playing Colonel
Mario
Sanders.
Lopez?
Colonel Sanders' great nephew. The seduction of the secret sauce. or something like that.
And it's a Lifetime movie?
It's a Lifetime movie, yeah.
I mean, 2020 doesn't surprise me anymore.
Well, they were talking about it on the radio this morning, but I wasn't sure if it was true.
And it's true?
Oh, it's true.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, you know, I guess Colonel Sanders is going to be eating his own legs this week, but it's a lot to celebrate about. Colonel Sanders is coming back
A
to...
recipe for seduction.
Colonel Sanders coming back from the grave. A lot to celebrate about. No, but this is good for love. This is definitely a celebration. It's going to feel, I think, overall like we accomplish what we've been looking for love. And I know that might sound crazy, but there's definitely a lot in the stars that are providing that, but also in these cards. Again, the challenge would be if it doesn't come from that divine space, or, you're trying to talk, astrology or spirituality or ascension or something like that, and you get the, it's kind of like, probably not going to happen then. The way that we get through those issues is, wow, the Fool card. So, you know what? It's like, let's not be the fool that tries to pass off that whole divinity thing. And I think that we also need to be aware that we can have that essential beauty and fun and love when we know that divinity is there, because then it's like you can just let go of other things and trust, and however the relationship life goes or love goes, you both trust divinity. And that's like the good fool to be, right? It's like, well, we know God's got our back, and we know we can follow the signs, and we can have a good time, and we can express life. Or you're just the fool that just thinks that something divine that doesn't connect with the divine will be divine. The Six of Cups came up in memories because of the Five of Pentacles. So, wow, trying to create a better space, because it feels like we've all been not in the place we want to be fully yet. This is the Victim card. Definitely is a card that deals with, suffering, pain. And I would say a lot of it more, though, in the sense that we kind of create our own, or we kind of hold ourselves in staying in a place where we keep holding to past experiences that aren't the best. And I think that we got to let those go and create new memories and remember the good memories to kind of help us out there and get rid of that victim mentality. The Four of Wands popped up because we did get the Chariot reversed. So it's interesting. I think for us, it's like, in order for this victory to happen, this Chariot reversed is going to be questioning, where do you hold back? Like, where's the hold back? Where are you still feeling like you need more information? Because if you keep feeling like you need more information, then you ain't going to get to the celebration, right? So it's like, when you put, they always say in that whole expression, like, did you put the ring on it yet? It's kind of like, you come to a point where you have to make that choice in life, right? Or do you accept the ring, or whatever? If you don't believe in marriage, like, do you move to the next round? This is definitely like a lot to celebrate about, but there's a lot of hesitation to get to that celebration. But that hesitation is whether or not you're going to take the action and truly just say, you know what, I've got all the info and I'm trusting the divine source and I'm moving. There's a lot about divinity with getting that Chariot card and getting that divinity card. When it comes to our overalls, I brought Ganesha out this week. Blessings this week overall. Woo! I mean, to get the Blessings 44 card of Ganesha, oh, wow. This is definitely an exciting week for love. And we got the third house of messages with the Eye of Horus there. So I would say that this is where it's like, third house is Gemini. And this also has to deal with like twin-like energy, but also like the energy between both parties. The blessings are understood. They can see it and it's just reveled. It's like two little kids, especially we got two little kids there, right? Like it's like kid love, like woohoo! Like, if it's not like that, sorry, might as well trade it in and try something different. Scorpio, oh wow, we got the 9th house there and we got it with the South Node. So again, this is where I think maybe the belief set needs to be changed. But I would say with the North Node then being in Taurus, that would be opposite of this in the third. Focus on that exciting thing that is super valuable and quality like, and it just feels good. It physically feels good. You can hear it. You can taste it. You can have it, instead of this being this idea that's like something that you still need to attain. It's like what's showing up that wants to be the attainment itself in your reality and in your environment.
Yeah, I think through all this, we've all been kind of looking for that safe space, so to speak, that safe space within inside of ourselves as well, and so we can manifest some greatness, and so we can bring some healthy ideas, beliefs, and love into our life, but sometimes we kind of get stuck in that wanting of the safe space instead of actually living in the real world. And then these opportunities kind of pass us by. So I think that it's important that we actually pay attention to ourselves, and how we're feeling with inside our own bodies and the relationships that we're in, but B, acknowledging the world that's going on around us and not actually just letting it wash by us, but actually paying attention and being in the moment and grasping any situation that might come up for you. The positivity is all around, but you got to be open. You got to be willing to grab that positivity and implement it into your life.
Yeah, because there's just not, there's a lot of good. And I think that safe space, or safe word, as you like to say, is all possible in life. And I think that this is also, I think we have to focus on the positives, because if we're going to focus on all the bad things that have happened, or even just the idea that we're going to say bad things have happened, like lessons happen, we grow, we understand things, but we don't hold on to those. And we go into the energy. I got a feeling just there's so much energy this week. They're just like, it's just going to feel like too little, like we always say our inner child, or we always say it's like childlike love or childlike wonder. It's like, if it's not like that, then, what are you doing? Especially during these times, which there's quite the opposite going around in the world. So I think that that's important. First sign that we're going to be doing this week is the Aries. Well, they got first. How crazy is that? The Aries are coming first. I just did all the sun sign horoscopes on highvibe.tv. Make sure you remember to go watch. They're really good. It's cold. It's cold. All right, Aries, what's going on this week for you? You got the Empress. Wow, this is a great card. It's about the embodiment of understanding the essence of growing and nurturing and being able to harvest the most beautiful, love situations. But you got to know your value, your worth, and you got to know, and you got to be willing to own it and own that beauty and own that value. And also in the partnerships that you seek, they got to have that in them as well. So if you're going to be dealing with a partner, or even yourself, if you're dealing with insecurities and self, where you're not willing to, kind of own the whole situation, it's not going to work out. So I would say that, focus on yourself first, and knowing, are you willing to encompass and own that beautiful feminine energy that's got all the ability to hold that beautiful love and to realize that you have everything that you could ever create from there. But make sure that you know that other partner has that too. The challenge that you got is the good fortune. Yeah, so this is going to be a little weird for you, because it's almost like you don't feel like good fortune's around you right now. But it's almost like, maybe that's because you don't feel that you have the power within you to have things, and you need good fortune to change your situation in love, when that's not the truth. I think that you don't need good fortune. I think that you are good fortune already. You have good fortunate things around you, and you need to pay attention to those things more with that Empress that pops up earlier. Your overall card you got here is the Knight of Pentacles upright. This would say that it's a long journey. You got to keep moving forward in life, and you got to move forward for better things. And so that's what this overall is like, keep the journey going, and the things are going to happen. Don't get stuck on the road, and don't start questioning your values. There's a lot about your self-worth coming up this week, and a lot of feeling like, oh, maybe you need some sort of good fortunate thing to happen. You have good fortunate things around you, especially when you continue moving forward and having the strength to move forward and not getting stuck at the stoplight or staying crashed out in a spot. The reason we pulled that Empress card is you did get the Six of Wands of victory. So that victory is coming for you. And I would say that victory comes when you embody the Empress energy, when you embody the Venus, very feminine, but it's also that knowing of beauty. It reminds me of Botticelli's Venus. Like you have to understand the value of yourself, the value and the quality that you bring, and see that that's going to be reflected from partnership if you know how to hold that within yourself. The reason why that you did pull this Knight of Pentacles, you got the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Woo! So the wheel's turning in your favor. So funny. You got a good fortune card and a challenge. We're going to get to the shadow of that and see what the hell's up. But that's pretty crazy. I would say that, life needs to move forward, and even though it might look like, one area is going, it's like, I don't know why, it's a wheel, right? It's like, if you get a nail in your tire, you know, you have to like let the wheel move forward so you know where it is when you hear it hit. And I think that this is you moving out of that nail in the tire and moving into the nicer tread of your life. The reason why the issue of the good fortune is, it's definitely weird. 6 of Swords reversed. It's like, I think you're afraid of moving into new waters. And I think that you feel that you need something good to kind of like be bait to pull you there. I would say that you don't. Like, you can just move into the better space that you have right now. You have all the means necessary in your life to move forward and to move into a great place, into a new energy, a reset energy. But I feel that it's more of a victorious energy of the value within you. You did get understanding as your card from the Ganesha deck. So I would say that, you know, this is definitely having an understanding of empathy towards where others are at. But remember, this is a deeper understanding in what you know you deserve and what you want in your life, and making sure that this is something deeply embedded that you see very clearly and understand what it is that's going on about your love life in general and from within yourself first. And the reason you got that with that is the Aquarius. Wow. So it's about, this is you understanding how all the pieces in life come together. You know, everything from, you know, the attitude you had when you were in the parking lot getting yelled at for not wearing a mask to whatever can affect every situation in your life. And I think that you're getting a really good perspective of how all the dots work together. And I also think that with the Aquarius card, you know, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to also understand the kind of people that you're around reflects the kind of energy that you're around too, especially with your love life. You pulled the 12th house, Leo, Saturn. So, wow, this is definitely removing all of the blocks for love for you. But also at the same time, it could feel like, you know, where are the spiritual blocks that have been going on in your love life? These are what you're going to address this week. Where are you putting up the stop signs? And more importantly, where have maybe you been distracted from a beautiful spiritual love, and to get back to that and to put that as a priority in your life? I think that's extremely important.
And maybe time to take a little trip down memory lane, so to speak, you know, and actually kind of identify those blockages that have been holding you back in your relationships. You know, maybe it is time to a little appreciate, maybe swept a few things under the rug, you know, which it's very easy to do in this life, you know, is to kind of put things off because we don't necessarily want to face them right away, but they're going to continue to fester up and boil up until you can't, you know, and you need to address them at some point. I think that this is that week to do that, so you can really be the catalyst for change in your life, you know, so you can really catapult yourself forward. But there are some things that may be holding you back still that you thought that you've worked through, but obviously you need to identify them and dig back into it. Like we all do, you know, but there is that light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. But you just got to you got to walk towards it.
Yeah, you got to like put yourself in that place of that you know there's always light at every end of a tunnel. It's not like in life, even if you were to drill yourself to the middle of the fucking Earth's core, you know, like sure you'd get there and it would be hot, but then you could keep drilling through that and you'd get out the other side. And I think that, you know, I think that it's important, like you said, like I think it's like good to kind of maybe do some reflection in the past of, you know, maybe where an understanding of how all the pieces come together to the future, to the moment, right? It's like having to know your past, your present, and your future.
Definitely.
And how that all is in alignment. So I'm glad that you brought that up. I think that's super important for Aries right now. And I think that's a good thing for them, that they maybe don't need as much good fortune as they realize, that it might be surrounding them more than they realize. They just need to kind of put it all together in understanding.
Yeah, it's hard to see the fortune, you know, when we're too close to it, or when we're in the darkness, you know, but it's still there.
Yeah, I know. It's like crazy. Like any time, you know, like you can play with yourself. It's a great life. Well, Leos are next. God hooked us up. Dead here at the studios and didn't get one laugh. I see people laughing in the chat. It's too cold to laugh. Or maybe people didn't even get that when I said that. It just reminds me of Adam Sandler in the old CD I have, when the Piece of Shit Car song, but when he does the skit of, he plays the grandma or the mama who goes to the pool and tells him to go play with your cock and balls. God gave you this cock and these balls. Why did you go play with them? All right, Leos, let's see what's going on for you in love this week. Page of Wands in reverse. So this is the hey bitch. Like, you know, Page of Wands, though, definitely it's like maybe the energy that comes towards you this week isn't exactly what you want. This could be energy of people not happy. It could be energy that maybe if you're expecting people to be a certain way, you know, definitely don't have expectations this week. They might put you in a bad way, or people might not be happy at you. Page of Wands reverse definitely could be, you know, the notes that aren't of happiness towards you, but maybe it's because of whatever. You're following your own heart. I think that sort of Page of Wands reminds me, and especially reverse, like, you know, you go about, you know, putting out there, if you want to find out what something's going on, you have to show up with it. But if you don't show up with it, nobody's going to show up back, right? So it's like there's a lot kind of on you, Leo, this week to be the one that shows up, but not have expectations and see what happens instead of waiting and seeing what shows up to you. Like this, I know that it's a lot easier to be a Leo and especially just like, you know, be pampered and be fanned the flame on, but it's like, you know, you got to do the same back. And I think that's what this card represents. The challenge here is magic. So, you know, that's interesting to see the magic card come up here as the challenge. I would say that anything that you know doesn't have that spiritual essence to it. It was a lot like the collective reading with the divinity. But, you know, magic doesn't happen, especially if you're not going to show up the same way somebody else does. Or at the same token, I would say, you know, maybe it's not going to feel magical because maybe somebody's shy too. Maybe somebody's unsure of how they know how to communicate the way that you want to, right? Like as a Leo, remember we like to, we put it all out there in our heart, right? And then, you know, it's maybe harder for other people to put it out that way. Or at the same time, we are the heartbreakers of the zodiac, right? Like we give it our best shot and then, you know, it either magically happens or not. And then we move on to see if there's magic. You know, we look for the magic. And I think that for you, it's not that you can't have it, but maybe it's that challenge of that you don't think magic can happen or you don't think good things can happen. Usually, though, I usually see that for Leos, it's when we're at I've always looked at my life when I entered into relationships. I always thought that it was never possible. And then it happened. You know what I mean? It's always that like when Leos are, you know, the king or the queen at the bottom, and especially Venus and Scorpio, they're down in the dungeons of their own fucking castle. It's like, oh, that's when, you know, you get a knock on the door and there's the prince or princess that comes down from another city. It's like a Aladdin moment, right? Or a Jasmine moment if she was flipped. And like, oh, hello, you came here to court and see what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let me get my robe on and let me wipe my eyes. No, I wasn't crying. I have allergies, you know. We got the Page of Wands reversed again. The overall. This is interesting. I would say that this is a lot of confusion about, you know, possibly in yourself and others. It's a confusion of like, so what is this? I would say that's what it is. Because wands are dealing with love and passion. Like there's a lot of confusion and the magic's trying to understand how to happen. And there's a complication here because we got 2 Page of Wands reversed. And this is kind of interesting because this is definitely, you know, who's in, who's out? Am I in? Am I out? So there's a lot of questions here. And it could be one of those things where it's just like, well, I thought you meant this, or I thought you meant that, or I meant this, or I meant that. Kind of complicated. Strength card. You know, I think that the magic happens when it's wherever you put your ultimate strength is. If you're scattered energetically and you don't focus on where to put all your strength, then magic won't happen in your life this week, Leo, especially love-wise. So, you know, but also have the strength that, remember, magic and love happen. Like there's, you know, it reminds me of the movie True Romance. It's like, you know, at the beginning of that movie, I think it's actually not Christian Slater who says it, but it's the girl in that movie. I forgot what her actress's name is, but she basically states that there's just so many times, there's so many things in love that don't work out, but there's just those times in life that just, I don't know, where it does turn the right direction. And I think that you have to remember that this week, Leo. Well, the King of Cups came up with the Page of Wands reversed. So, you know, I think if you understand what you want emotionally, it's a lot easier to communicate the happiness or communicate the positive energy or the love energy that you want. But I think that you have to have a solid understanding emotionally of where you're going, because I think that you'll be confused if you're not solid on your feet of like, this is what I want emotionally. And I would say that that's what's creating the confusion for you. With this other page of wands, I would say, like, because we got 2, this would be from like another party or the other person. And this is the 6 of swords, of, you know, moving to new waters and moving into another place. So, and there's a confusion there, where are things moving? So it's like both ends, you and another person, or whatever's going on here in your relationship life. It feels like the other side of you would, outside of you would be like, where's this going? And you are like, am I emotionally, you know, all there? And don't get in any weird, confusing elements, and stay strong with what you know in yourself. And you can be clear to people when you know that. But I think that you do know that. I think that you just have to just get back to that core and remember that magic again. And don't expect the magic to come from the outside. Remember that the magic happens when you step into the strength of the Leo that you are. The Ganesha card that we got is the spiritual practice. So get back into your spiritual practice, right? Like, get back to your spiritual natural place, which as a Leo is having fun. You know, get back to listening to music again. Get back into your swing of things this week. Get back into that practice that brings you wherever it does to the divine. And usually for Leos, it's in that fun place. And I would say that, you know, maybe also because this is a love reading, like, make sure that whoever that you are with has some sort of spiritual practice too, right? Because I feel like it's important for, you know, for confusing situations that aren't that confusing. That's what I'm picking up on. That if you're in a spiritual practice, it's all okay and things can move forward. But when there's people who don't have a spiritual practice and they get confused, and then they can turn to craziness, right? And Black Moon Lilith, the mystery. Wow, this is a mysterious, magical, weird week, okay, Leo? So, but remember, don't mess with Black Moon Lilith, because of the fact that, you know, your deep shadowed inner desires are what are going to pull at the end of the day. And I think that that's the mystery, right? Like, I feel like you're going to be thrown for curveballs this week because of the fact that there is the mystery going on of deep within, of what you really want, and how that comes about might look weird or how it shows up, but it doesn't matter. It's like, as long as, you know, the spiritual practice is in there and you have the strength and you know your emotions and you know where you want to go, then it will all work out somehow. But this is definitely going to be an intense a week. But I think that the main thing here is it's going to be a very intense mystery that is you're trying to pull out. Maybe you're trying to understand the mystery of another person, and you know you can't pull that out like yourself. Maybe you keep asking, or maybe it's hard, and you're going to have to go with your strength, and you're going to have to just go with that gut. And make your choices from there. And some things might be a mystery. You don't even, maybe, especially the page of wands, you don't have to explain yourself. Like, you just, like, that's the mystery, right? I know in my Black Moon Lilith truth, right? Moon in Libra in the first house. So definitely you're thinking about the emotions of what kind of partnership you want to identify with, but it also is an emotional, action-oriented into relationship energy. So I would say that the number one place in the identity that you are is definitely determining your emotions on what you want to partner with that reflects the same kind of energy that you do. And that's the big question in what you're wearing out.
Yeah, it could be a few different, information coming from multiple areas in your life. There's obviously that message that you're telling yourself, and could be a message that a lover is trying to tell you, or that a lover that's coming into it, and there could be that, I don't want to say disconnect, but with that Black Moon Lilith, it can almost be like, are you sure that you really want to invest fully into it? Is that wildness inside yourself kind of scaring you to kind of hunker down? Or maybe there's a wildness in that individual that you see and you're not fully sure about it. But there are those two messages, but are they going to align? And that's what you need to come down into. So it's going to come down to that communication with yourself, communication with your partner, and then your connection with the universe to see if that's really going to unfold the way that you want it to, the way that you believe that it can. But it's going to take a little bit of effort. It's going to take a little communication. It's going to take you figuring out what it is that you really want and what you want to put your energy into going forward.
There we go. Actually, somebody did put one of the lines from True Romance. I had to come all the way through the highways and byways of Tallahassee, Florida, all the way to Motor City, Detroit, to find true love. There's another line in that, though, which is before that, but Good job on putting that line out there. As a Leo, and maybe that's because I'm like double Leo and I'm like Leo Venus and Leo Mercury and Leo Rising and Leo Sun. True romance to me really is the way that I look at love. I don't feel that it looks like the way that we hear on Match.com and all this kind of stuff. I feel that like love is an instant thing, and I feel that it's just like a deep no. You just know. I don't believe in I believe in love at first sight. I do not believe in you have to get to know people and you have to do. It's just there's too much as a Leo that's just been proven over time and time again, and you know that's why I love that movie so much. And it's also about not judging the other person and where they come from, because even though they're trying to make it weird that she was a call girl for 3 days and she ends that and she really wasn't one, like, if that makes sense. He also works at a comic book store for 4 years and doesn't make any money, you know. So it's like one of those kind of things where being able to just see the soul of two people and go with that and have the best time of their lives and go into the craziness and follow their gut, and it all works out for them even through the craziness of that movie. I mean, even it is a Quentin Tarantino screenplay and a Tony Scott directed film, and all the biggest actors of all time are in that movie actually too. So, you know. Anyway. Libras. We got a Libra time. Libras are screaming, oh my God, I'm not last. Thank God. I can go to bed soon. Get to get my reading. Got to get my reading. Libras, though. Oh, Libras got a lot going on with love. Oh my God. See what's going on, Libra. Ooh, you got the 9 of Wands. Look at it. Badass little rabbit at you. Like, what? You know, it's a rabbit that flips you off, yo. You know, because it's the defense mechanism, right? But is the defense what are you defending? Is it worth defending, right? This keeps coming up, especially the astrology for Libras. Mars in your 7th house. Saturn at the last degree of Capricorn in your 4th house, emotions. You're ready for the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in your 5th house of love. Are you really going to enter into the new paradigm defending something that you don't want? That's a big question. Is it worth defending, or do you get triggered because, you know, what are you doing with that person? Fuck you. It's like, how many times are you saying that? And that's your issue. Look at that transformation. You're afraid to transform. It's okay. I get it. I mean, even though you're a Libra and you do like butterflies, and I think more Libras in the world have butterflies tattooed on their back than most other people. But I would say that that's the issue here. It's like beautiful transformations here to happen, but if you're rigid about trying to defend for some situation that maybe is not as beautiful as you want, then you gotta like pay attention to that. And this could also just mean that you have walls up about transforming it into a better space, and you got to be willing to accept that and look at that. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. You just have to be willing to be like, yeah, where am I defending positions that maybe are holding me from a better transformation in my life? And it's almost like there's a fear around that. Let's see. You did get the 6 of Cups reversed. So it's like, you know, I think overall it's reminding you that like maybe all the memories that once at one time have run dry, maybe it's not as a beautiful of a space as you think to hold on. And I think maybe you also yearn for a better, you know, kind of like beautiful space. Maybe you yearn to not have to, maybe you want your partner to defend you more as much as you do. Maybe you want more beauty, but I think it's like you got to realize what is it that's in the way. I think that's what it is. Like there's something in the way. There's a wall up. There's old memories that aren't there anymore. They've kind of like drifted away. And it's like you want to restore those with new things, but are you really ready for the transformation is a big question. You did get the Ace of Wands. It's definitely a new love story is the transformational situation. So, you know, a new one. It's an Ace of Wands. It's not, you know, like it's a new situation. It's piercing to the new area. It's a wand that shows up out of nowhere from God. What's up with these defense mechanisms, and why is that little bunny rabbit flipping you off? Lord of Wands, or there's the King of Wands reversed. I think that, you know, if you are not feeling that embodiment of just the ultimate, like you have that full strength and love, or your partner is not giving you that love back. Usually with Libras, it's like It's the partnership that if you're having somebody who's not showing up just as the King of Wands, who is the ultimate lover, then what are you doing defending it? Or if they're not really that exciting love-wise. You got the Emperor. Well, you know what? That's what it is I think that you have to realize that you, one, have to take control of your life and bring that true power back into yourself of what you want in your life. But you also need to have a partner that is a lot more than just a king. And especially you have a King of Wands here reverse. So it's like, I feel like you've been dealing with somebody who projected the story that they were a great lover and they do love you and they have these great ideas, but they kind of failed as king, right? They've been dethroned. And here's the energy of the Emperor that's coming in to come over that Six of Cups reverse. Like, it's like you need something stronger. I'm just going to be real. And I feel that that's what you need to move into this week. Where's the strong energy at instead of defending this weak energy? You did get the achievement. So I think maybe, there's a way to look at achievement. There's two ways to look at it. Maybe in order to achieve what you want, you need to look at, did you achieve already? Are you still holding on to an old achievement? And are you ready to move into a new achievement? But I think that, we all want to achieve so many things in life, right? And I'll just keep saying achieve because it sounds so funny. When you achieve things, it's an achieving thing in life. But I would say that if you achieve more, bliss in your life by actually being willing to achieve the Emperor and get rid of the past King of Wands that's weak, that didn't achieve the original achievement. I don't know. I just got a feeling that you're dealing with the weak shit and there's some strong shit out there. And it's time to achieve what you really want in life with your happiness. But you have to be willing to own that. Oh, especially look at that. Love. You pulled the 5th house card. That's the love house. It's got to feel like fun again. And it's got to be the fun drama, the exciting drama, even though there's the weird clown in that one, the fun house. But I would say that there is that whole element of like going, when you're in love, you like are excited to go to freaking Bed Bath and Beyond. You're excited to walk down the street. And I feel like, either you're not feeling that with some past energy or that other past energy or somebody that you've been with that you're not feeling it is not showing up that way anymore. And I think you have some big questions about, there's definitely an Emperor coming in. There's something stronger that you know about. What are you going to do about it? And maybe that strongerness is you. So you pulled Saturn in the 2nd house of Pisces. Ooh, wow. It's about remembering your value again and getting rid of the sensitive insecurities of like feeling responsible to kind of dilute your value. And I think that this is you taking back your value and letting go of the things that are not valuable anymore. And that's how you take back your value, like it's the only way it happens.
Yeah, being in touch with your strength and embracing the transformation that's been taking place in all of us. But I've noticed it definitely in some Libras that I have interaction with. There has been a transformation this year of kind of shedding a skin, so to speak, and kind of stepping into a new. And I think that it's embracing that is what is going to bring in that Emperor that you're saying, or that King, bringing this newfound love, this newfound appreciation, and this strength that's always been there. I think that's going to come to the forefront and be more in the light, and be in the light, and that's going to attract that love. It's going to attract that strength that you have, and it's going to all turn around in the direction that you've been wanting it to head. That it might not look like it was going to be going that direction, but it is going that direction. Once you tap back into your ability of that strength and you speak it into existence and you put that energy force behind it, behind that speaking as well. Energy force and speaking it into existence.
Yeah, I'll give away another Libra secret. They always got the Emperor on fucking dial, but they just don't call it, and they get weird and they get caught up with the fucking King of Wands reverse. So, it's like, you already know where to go, but it's like you don't know what to do, but you do know what to do, and you get stuck. Like, don't ever think a Libra is like doesn't know where they want to go next. This is whether or not they fucking are ready to leave the lily pad that's sunk already. So, let's move on to the next reading. Aquarians. Man, it's been all fire and air. Definitely in fire and air times. These nodes. I don't think we've gotten any water signs or any earth signs yet. They're all crying like, where the fuck's my reading, dude? The fire and air like, okay, all right. We'll take it. All right, Aquarians, let's see what's going on with you this week. Aquarius, did they get the Six of Pentacles? Seriously? You ready trying to turn me into a housewife? I love this badass tarot deck. But Six of Pentacles, I don't like this in love readings. I've said it before. It's not a good card for love because of the fact of, are you just doing things for service? You know? Or are you giving all your energy away and not getting anything in return? Like, seriously? Or are you just kind of in it just to, like, because you're, like, just doing it to do it? Ugh. That's the worst feeling. Wow. Your challenge is the fire card of passion. Oh, Aquarius. It's like you guys are mowing the lawn, and that's too fiery. You guys are vacuuming the carpet, so that's too intense, too loud. You're twiddling your thumbs in a room with all white walls. I think that this is reminding yourself that maybe the ultimate service is to yourself, to give yourself what you want and get a return back. But I think that, you have to have the fire to do that. You have to, you might be dealing with also a partner that feels like you have to service them because they are depressed. And that's not good when you're already having to deal with a lot of shit on your own. Or you're depressed in yourself. You got Two of Swords. You got a hard choice to make here that you don't know what to do. You don't know really where to go with your love life. That's your overall card. It's a hard one. Do I use the rifle or do I use the chainsaw to kill the zombie? Oh my gosh. Well, you better pick before the fucking zombie eats you. Like, just chainsaw or just shoot in the head. Like, figure it out. You got to figure something out here because I think that you need to use the guide of passion and fire, and you can have that in your life, but what is the thing that is blocking that? Well, you have the Hierophant reverse. I'd say it's leaving old belief systems. And I would say that, I think that it's also that you maybe you're too stringent on, you're too obsessed like with kind of this traditional element of how things should look, even though you're so untraditional. It's like, I think that you staying in traditional situations is caused kind of a, not even a little, but has caused a cold, like, it's cold outside right now everywhere. And you know what I mean? Like, unless you're, I guess, down south and you're down in Australia and it's summer, but it's almost summer, but like, I feel like this is definitely like, you have traditional values that are kind of blocking your fire. You're also dealing with a lot of boring energy. You did get Queen of Swords in reversed. I would say that, again, this would go with yourself too. It's like, I don't know why, but I feel like, I think that your idea of how things should look and what should be returned to you it's just been completely off because you haven't been look at what you've been doing to yourself. Like, you haven't understood exactly what constitutes worth being in a relationship with, or what person is what. Like, I feel like, I'm going to be honest, this to me just feels like a complete like fuck show here for Aquarians. Where the hell do I go? What do I do? What am I doing? How did I end up here? How did I end up here? We're going to find out. Wow, you got the Seven of Pentacles as your Two of Swords card. I would say that, and a lot of it is like, I think that you don't know where to go because you don't even know what you really want to invest in fully, and has it been worth the investment, or, I think that there's an energy that, it's work, but it's like, is it the work worth it? It's like, that's your gauge. Is the work worth it? Is it worth putting all the energy that you're putting in? at the end of the day? Or is it just a bunch of blood, sweat, and tears? You're not getting anything back. And you have to be honest with yourself. That, I think, is the hardest part. It's almost like you're denying that you're putting in a bunch of work into something that's not showing up. Or you're putting a bunch of work into yourself, or you're trying dating apps, or you're trying all this stuff and it's not working. You need to change something up here and go way untraditional. You pulled for your overalls here. You got the Ganesha of belonging. Before we get to that, I'm going to see what this says. Wow, solar eclipse revolution. And we got that coming on Monday. But this week is definitely the revolution of, do you belong in the situation or not? You might belong in an extremely new revolution, or you belong in one that's ending. But also you might feel like you have to belong, right? I don't like the word belong, because it's like, oh, I have to belong there. I belong to be there. It's like to be in the long term. Or it's a yearning to, it's a longing, right? It's a longing to be there. It's a yearning to be somewhere, but it's going to take a revolution. And I would say that's going to take a reconnection to your true Aquarian self, your sun and your moon, your soul. And with all the Neptune squares here, it's about the value of yourself and whether or not you're giving it away to a world that you are trying to piece together. And I think you need to get back to the simplicity of your happiness again. And that's the only thing that you belong to, that's always everlasting and longing, that actually belongs forever, is the core of your true happy self and your true self. And that's an ultimate revolution that you have to have this week. You're at a place where you pretty much no other doors left except your truth of yourself and being it, instead of like kind of hiding from yourself in many ways and your truth. You got 8th house Aquarius Mercury. So you need to spit the truth out, and it's going to cause disruption, and you need to let out the weirdest truth. I feel that you're stuck because you're too afraid to be honest with yourself. You're too afraid to look at the deep truth. You're maybe investigating too deeply into situations, and you keep getting answers that shock you, but you already know they're going to be shocking. So why keep looking there? Or why keep doing the same thing over and over again? Like, you're attached to trying to figure out very intense, complex situations that maybe, you know what, it's just about the dynamite job. Like, you know what? Instead of me trying to figure out how to move the train over the mountain, let me just get the dynamite and blow holes through the mountain and just push things through and get through this situation, instead of like getting stuck here and trying to make a train track and get everybody to build the train track over through the trees and on the, go up this crazy mountain. Sometimes in life, dynamite comes through. I think that dynamite can be a positive thing, right, of excitement, but I think that you got to dynamite a part of your road here in your love life in order to feel the dynamite in the positive.
Yeah, there's definitely some blocks coming up, and maybe it's a thought process that's holding us back. Maybe we're keeping an individual in our life a little too long. Maybe they've overstayed their welcome, but we keep kind of reverting back to that first emotional state that we felt. That first thought of bliss that we thought that we had it. And it could be gone. And it's hard to let go. But it's that knowingness, it's that acknowledgement within inside of ourselves, and knowing that maybe that time has passed and the individual is not necessarily needed in the situation that they were before. They can still be in your life if need be, if you must have them around. But I think that there's some chords, and there's some upfront, relationships almost that need to have these discussions of is the worthiness really there anymore? Are you feeling that worthiness within inside yourself and within inside your partner? And those are tough conversations to have, but they're necessary. So then you can, if you do deem that they are important, if you do deem that this individual does need to stay with you, then that's going to be great, and you can build that foundation going forward. But if the coming to grips and coming to terms with the situation is what's needed, the good or the bad, the outcome is going to be what it is. But you can't just sit and fester on it and continue to second guess what's going on.
No, festering is like Fester in the Addams Family, and I think that Aquarians can end up looking like Uncle Fester when they do that. And if you remember in the Addams Family Values, it was not the second one, when Fester tries to marry, what's her name? And she's really not into it. but he keeps trying anyway. That's you, Aquarius, this week. Your Uncle Fester. Oh, Scorpio. Oh, well, it ain't no what. It's Scorpio, but it's we were just talking about Uncle Fester, actually. He's definitely very Scorpionic.
No. We got one last party here coming up, baby. Cause ain't no pilot Scorpio party, baby. I know y'all gonna be missing me next week. Scorpio, baby.
I love that. Like when you were saying it, it was like all the LED lights were going. Hey, I don't care. You know what? Write out this surgery thing. When I had surgery, I would have played it better. It was a little different though. I was in the military, and my brother showed up and undid my like surgical gown and had my penis sticking out. When the nurse came back in, and I was on, I was still under, I was still under basically, because it was 4-hour surgery, and fucking that's what my brother did to me. And anyway, you can use surgeries for your advantage for love, brother. That's all I'm trying to say. Big time. Don't write off the party.
Any nurses out there, you can reach me at Chief Mojo Rising with 2 E's.
At home nursing.
Some TLC.
I'm not making this up. The first card you got is the 10 of Cups upright. Like I can't. It's
my spaceship taking a
Scorpios
ride.
are definitely coming into. Look at that. It's a UFO too, beaming the freaking beautiful beams here to the family that's in a black and white world, and actually giving them the beautiful love. This is one of the best cards for love. But it's like a union, ready to have union. One thing is beautiful love comes when two people are ready to have union. And this is the ultimate place that the cups want to reach, the emotional level. So, this is starting off really good. The challenge with this is meditate, which is just okay. Believe it or not, this is one of the easiest cards in this deck. I would say that. You know what? The challenge is thinking something's as tangled as really it's not, right? Like, I can look at chords. We look at chords here all the time, and I feel like, oh, the chords are tangled, and it's going to be a bitch to untangle them. It's like the faster you try and figure all that out and freak out about it, the worse it is. It's like, hold on, just take a second and just see where does that chord go. And they think that there's some little things for you to maybe just chill out on and let this beauty happen. And it's not as crazy as you think it is. It's pretty chilled out. And I think the challenge is thinking, oh, maybe, I got to figure something out. And really, maybe you don't. Maybe you just need to let it be the most beautiful thing in the world this week that shows up to you, or that is happening, or moving in a new place. You pulled the Magician upright. This is definitely a powerful, exciting, and magical week for Scorpios and change when it comes to their romantic situations. I feel like we haven't seen anything this positive in a long time. So this is definitely the magic happening, the eternal bliss happening, and not letting the little shit fuck it up. Why is that little shit? 5 of Swords. Yeah, you don't need to try so hard to figure out situations, right? All you have to do is be. Just be in that eternal bliss. Just be in that ultimate magician role that's connected, that the divine moment. And there's chemicals, and there's beautiful things, and there's weird things in life that are bringing things to magically come together. Just let that happen instead of trying to force things to happen. And that's the other thing too. Respond to the things that happen by just the things that happen instead of trying to force situations. Like you just let the magic happen this week. It's pretty fucking amazing, actually. The reason why you got that 10 of Cups here, wow, you got the Temperance card. So it's like a natural, beautiful situation is enveloping. And maybe that's the issue with the Magician here, and maybe with this 5 of Swords is maybe you're trying to create something instead of a natural thing that's occurring. Maybe it's too beautiful and natural for you, and it's almost disbelievable, but it's happening. To get the Temperance up right here with the 10 of Cups is like a beautiful natural cycle that's been going on for a while, that's naturally developing into where it's about to go. So it's like a natural occurrence that's been happening. It's also a natural situation. It's not like, some crazy mathematical crazy situation. And that Magician card here, We did get the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So you're definitely leaving the day-to-day grind to get into a much more magical situation. I feel that you've already reached kind of like these areas where you've already achieved as far as you can go in skill of like how to reach love. But this is like taking you to another level that maybe is a little bit difficult for you to be. You feel like you need to be more, you know, equipped, right? Like to come to this next new level, but you don't. Like you only figure out the next new level by going into the next new level, and you become equipped by going into it, opposed to being prepared to go to the next level in a relationship, or if that's the end or the beginning of one, or just to the new level of where you both are going, or a new situation coming in. Just let the magic happen. Let the magic happen, whatever that's going to be. It might be some situations that have just kind of reached their road, like they didn't go anywhere, or it just never found its talent or skill. Where others, it's like you haven't tested how great the talent and skill could be yet. And I think that that's what needs to be seen. With the Ganesha overall, we got with the reflection card here. And we got that with the void off course moon is something missing. Maybe that's what you're reflecting on, is what has always been feeling like it's missing is actually helping you start to see what's not missing anymore. Because the fact that 10 of Cups and Temperance are showing up, the Magician is showing up. And the fact is I think that it's more about that reflective state is when you are in a place of things that are missing. It's when you're in the moment and when you are stepping into the next level of situations that you're actually in the magic and it's not missing. Maybe you pull out too much. Maybe you reflect too much. Maybe you need too much reflection, and that's the issue that causes things to miss. So it's almost like you're at a horse race. I don't know why my guys are saying this. You're at a horse race and it's like you got to place the bet, but you want to go to the bathroom and you want to reflect on what horse to bet on, but the betting is happening right now. Which horse is it going to be? You know what I mean? And then you go, it's going to be, I already picked. It's going to be Lucky Stripes, It's like, oh, sorry, the betting's closed. What? Well, yeah, you missed it because you just spent too much time in the bathroom playing around with Lucky Stripes or Mrs. Wonka. I don't know, whatever they're naming the horses these days. North Node in Taurus in the 10th. Well, yep, new levels, taking yourself to the ultimate top level now. Remember, Taurus was your relationship house too. North Node here, 10th house. It's time to make, bigger responsible decisions to have better things in your life and reach better places. And instead of kind of sitting in that opposite, that Scorpio 4th house of like just chilling out. I think that you're chilling out, especially in the reflection mode, too much. And I think that you need to take some sort of major action and take what's in front of you that's going to take you to a better place instead of staying in the same place. That's not working.
Yeah, it's not the time just to sit and kind of get lost in your thoughts or get lost in the aspect of wanting to control the outcomes that are going on in our lives. Obviously there's certain situations that we can put ourselves in and certain individuals that we can have in front of us, but who's actually showing up for us, who's actually putting that energy and life force back into us as much as we're putting into ourselves as well. And again, you can't just get lost up in the thought of, who is showing up, just who is showing up, like David used the analogy about the horse race. Who's at the race? You can't be fantasizing about an individual that's not there and just be wanting them to show up and wanting them to appear and get lost. And then you miss out on the race completely. You miss out on the individual that is showing up for you. And then you got to show up for yourself as well. You have to be there. You have to be present. You have to be able to take action when it calls and when you have it right in front of you.
Yeah, because you know what, man? It's almost like the horse race was a good analogy. And yeah, I think that it's not a bad thing to reflect and to meditate and to do these things, but there comes a point to where it's like, we got to make choices and we got to, what? I think that you bring the best thing up about outcomes, right? It's like, we don't know the outcome of anything unless we enter into something. So we might as well get into things to see what the outcome is. Because it's better to be into things to get an outcome than to not be able to play the game because we didn't put in our ante when we had to bet, when we had to bet on it to see what the outcome is. And you can't get glory or you can't get fortune or you can't get anything on the positive if you're not in it, right? Like,
Correct.
so.
And no, I am not dating a Pisces. I'm not dating anybody. And yes, I have tried acupuncture.
Very nice. So
and Reiki as well.
Chief Mojo Rising, he's going to be out of surgery, and he's going to be needing some love.
On treatment.
Hands-on
Massages.
treatment. Big time. Sagittarius. And hey, you could turn it into a Scorpio acupuncture, you know what I mean? Like, Scorpio acupuncture doesn't just use little needles. Like, get some knives out, get some swords. Or have the surgeon let you have the scalpel that they use and fucking have one of the girls start playing with the scalpel with you. That might be fun. Get that special soap.
Soap.
I think that you need like to get baths, right? Don't you need like soap baths?
No, unfortunately, I can't take baths, showers.
Well,
Actually, I can't be fully submerged for a month.
Okay, so then that might even be better. Like, you know, like they can clean parts of you in other places in the shower. It'd be great. All right, let's see what's going on with Sag. Happy birthday, Sag. Let's see what's going on for you this week. You did get the 5 of Wands in reverse here. This is a card where you don't really want anything to disrupt anything. Well, let me tell you that, you know, you want to avoid conflict and you want to avoid confrontation. We're going to see how that one goes. Why? We're going to see why. We're going to see why. I don't know yet. Oh, afraid of shifting, afraid of changing into something different. Well, how are you going to change anything, or how are you going to shift in anything, especially if you fucking are going to conflict, or you're afraid of confliction, or you're afraid of confrontation, or you're afraid of like realizing that there is a lot of weird pieces that don't kind of all fit together at this moment, and you want those to shift, but you almost don't want to like look at those pieces, or you don't want to deal with those pieces. So this is an avoidance issue this week, Sag. Strength card. You gotta have the strength to face things in life, to shift them to a better place. I mean, you'll shift into a strengthful energy by just facing on something, by showing up with some courage here. Like, just show up and do it, and then the shift to the great, more strengthful place happens in life. I mean, I don't know why you're in avoidance. I know it's your birthday, and that's a good excuse, but not a good enough excuse. You did pull the Queen of Cups. You will be so much more fulfilled emotionally if you have the shift in your relationship life that needs to be shifted, whatever the complications are. And just face them. Might be simple things. Might not be the end of the whole world, right? Just might just be like, gosh, okay, there's this little issue that's going on. Or it could be, right, like you're ready to shift in a whole major relationship situation, right? And you just are like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's like, yeah, but I'm unfulfilled emotionally. Well, just fucking shift. You know, it's a holy shift moment. But you don't want to have the holy part, and you definitely don't want to have the shift part, so you end up with Adam Shift. That's going to be fun. 9 of Pentacles upright. So, you know, I would say that this independent value of yourself is on the line. If you're not going to have confrontation or anything, then you're not worthy of having any shifts in your life. You know, the 9 of Pentacles knows its value, knows its worth, it knows its beauty, and that it can attract whatever it wants in its life. And it's not afraid of anything because it will just bring in everything that it needs, instead of you looking at life as like, oh, I gotta like face something. I don't want to have to face it. And you think that you can just bring in the change. No, you have to show up for the change, Sag, and you have to put your test of your self-worth on the line here. Big time. You did pull the Empress reverse with the Strength card. I mean, how are you going to have strength if you're not giving yourself that ultimate value? Both cards deal with value, but this Empress reversed, it's almost like, I feel like if especially you're a feminine energy, if you're a female or you represent female energy, I feel that you have to find your strength again because it's like been kind of taken away from you. You've been taken advantage of. If you're masculine, you're dealing with the feminine energy that's taking your strength away. So, you need to remember your power again. And I think that you need a change needs to happen in order for you to get your situation. Especially if you're a female, you're dealing with this energy. I feel that you're holding on to something that's not that powerful and strong, and it doesn't give you strength. It's almost like they're trying to take away strength and power from you, or they use you for your strength, but they don't give you the same strength back. Innocence? Oh, this is interesting. With Virgo, wow. I think that this is a lot more intense than just an innocent situation that you have to analyze. I think that's the whole idea of it overall is like, I think that's the place that you're coming from. And I think it's a beautiful and respectable place. But at the same time, this is the situation. Your reality needs to be in a more innocent place. In order to do that, you have to make the Virgo change, and you have to realize that if you want that, much more peaceful space, and I would say it's that place where, because innocence can be a bad thing. I'm going to be honest with you, right? It's like, you can be kind of like naive when you're in innocence. And I think that there's a reality that you can't be naive about anymore. And you have to face that this week. And that's your birthday gift, believe it or not, to get you up to a better reality. But you can't play like, I was just innocent. I don't know. Because that's where innocence comes from, is innocent. Oh, I'm innocent. You get the 12th house, Taurus, South Node. You're hoarding. And I think that you have to stop hoarding this kind of lost place. I think that with the North Node, that would be flipping the 6th house in Scorpio. It's about transformation of your reality that has to take place. You're hoarding. And you're hoarding some weird situations here. If you don't know what hoarding is, and you're holding on to a heavy load that is tired and not really working out too great. And you're playing naive and dumb. Well, you don't want to face it. I get it. I've been through that before. I don't want to face it. I don't want to deal with it. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, that goes far.
There's a great disconnect. With that hoarding, it can be the checking out. Checking out and not being present in your actual emotional state and kind of just letting everything just pile on itself until you don't necessarily know what day it is or what you're actually truly feeling. It could be a past emotion that's boiling back up because you haven't dealt with it. So what it is, what's that great disconnect that's happening with inside yourself? That's what you need to acknowledge, and that's what you need to find out, and that's what you need to be able to fix with inside yourself as well by putting in that actual energetic motion to it, figuring out where that disconnect is and fixing it. Getting rid of all that shit, getting rid of all that junk in the trunk, the bad junk, the skeletons in the closet. Work on that. Put yourself first, always. The rest will fall in line. The individuals will fall in line once you figure out what's actually going on up here.
Yeah, because I feel like if you just play naive, and it's like more of an act than a real thing. It's like, you're not dumb. Sages aren't dumb. But when you act innocent, and innocence, like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Gemini. This is not an easy one for Sages with South Node and Sun square Neptune and Mercury. South Node square Neptune this week. And Venus in your 12th. Sextile Pluto. And Jupiter's out of shadow. On top of Saturn. All right, Gemini, let's see what's going on with you this week. First card that you got is the Hermit. Crash test of me still? Oh, man. It's one card I don't like this is the one card that I think is one of the worst cards for love reading is the Hermit. And it looks like this is what you're doing, Gemini, is you're hermiting. You're like, you're an empty vessel at this point. It's like you feel like you need space, maybe? How long has that been going on? I'm going to be honest. This crash test dummy is like, I have been in here a long time. Everybody left the building a long time ago. They're not even testing those cars anymore. Your model's done with. Look at that. Lucky. You feel like bad luck's going to happen to you. So that's why you're trying to protect yourself and stay safe. Or it's the hopelessness that luck will happen and I'm just going to stay in this situation that I hope it will go better even though it is fucking empty. That you keep going, I need to gain more information because I need to protect myself from a bad luck situation. Well, what if actually you're in an unlucky situation because you are hermiting so much? Wow. This is the card, Five of Pentacles, that deals with the victim. Look at the woman rummaging through the trash in a zombie apocalypse. Is that you? You hermited so much that you're missing out on all the goodies of life because you're going to play victim. You're going to play that, you know. You know, the idea of poor back in the day, especially during the Knights Templar day, was not the idea of poor of riches. It was the idea that you were poor because that you didn't have the courage and that you didn't have the ability, and especially it was back in the time with like swords and so stuff like that. Like you were poor because you were stripped away of your ability to fight for your honor. And I feel that you were letting go of your honor by being afraid of love itself or being afraid of situations and where they could go or whatever. You've like lost your energy of love itself to the mind and to your own self and to your own protection and to playing kind of like a scavenger for like basic parts of love, but not full love itself. You pulled the Four of Cups with that lucky card. I'm going to be honest with you. You're unlucky because you're choosing to not take the situations that God has presented you that you emotionally know are there, but you're like, no, I don't want it, God. Wow. I don't want to deal with the truth, God, of the emotional love and the greatness that could happen. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to. It's bad luck if I take your grace. Oh, wow, really? I didn't know God gave bad luck out fucking as gifts. Okay, you pulled the Lover's card over that Hermit. Wow. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. It's like love is the answer to get you out of this horrible situation. And I think that you know the ultimate kind of love story that you want, but you've been so afraid of that love story that the truth of whatever it is that you got to go to do and be that love, that at this point you pretty much have to. Or, I'm going to be honest, it's going to feel like you're in a dead zone, an empty zone. You got to be willing to accept it too. You did pull the Six of Pentacles. You know, I don't like this card either. You got both cards that I don't like for love, and you got it over that Six of Pentacles. I would say that, the service is not you, number one, continuing to harbor people who you have to be charity cases for. That's like the issue. Is like I feel like you're dealing with people that are charity cases, and that's not making you feel good, and no wonder you don't feel lucky. Or you're too afraid just to move away from some sort of situation that's like kind of not even in your field because it's scavenged out. It's like pieces of it still, but it's like you're still fucking around with it. You're still giving it energy, and you're still like, I'll be honest with you, you're still creating kind of this energy that I feel honestly is you're missing out on so much because you're playing the small ball. Like you're playing let me keep helping you. It's like, it's not love. Let me help you and then love. Like, no. Steadfastness. Well, at least this card came through. But are you going still in the steadfastness of the same place? You know what I mean? And is that changing? You going to change that? Libra, relationships. Okay. You need to find the strength and the steadfast energy about finding the real relationship in life and the balance of life itself, because I think you're unbalanced with this whole love situation. I think that you've moved away from love completely and you've gone into other energies. And I think that you've been also playing with relationship situations, or you're in a really terrible situation relationship-wise that it's ended up to that position that you just kind of like clam yourself up. And I think that, it's time to break those cycles, and it's time to find your strength again, find that ultimate love, and stop denying yourself of it, because you're denying yourself of love. Staying in a relationship, maybe the guy can't knock you up. Maybe the guy, like there's a million things I can name here. But or they're just a little little boy. It just doesn't, they don't have the ability to do anything. So you like help them. You got 10th house Scorpio South Node. You're too obsessed with your work. You need to get to remembering that if your foundation doesn't have something of physical touch and value and quality, I mean, how well are you going to do at work? You're missing out to the essentials you need to feed yourself emotionally to do the work you're obsessed with.
Yeah, you got to find the balance of your existence. You got to find the balance inside yourself of knowing your worth, of knowing your truth, of knowing your power, but then also allowing individuals to see it, but not giving it away to those who are not worthy, or not putting your time and effort into projects, people, places, or even yourself in the different aspects that are not worthy of your time or your energy. It's easy to get lost in those because sometimes those are the most fun. The things that are not the most beneficial for us in life can be the most fun things in life. But we have to be able to pull ourselves out of it and not fully invest ourselves, not go down that whole rabbit hole, not go down that whole path that's going to lead us, and we're going to have to climb all the way the fuck back up. So find your way out first. Don't divvy out every portion of yourself to individuals and to places that don't matter, that aren't worthy of yourself, that aren't worthy of your time. Find that worthiness within and then radiate that out. Find that worthiness within and go and attack that, address that, fulfill that aspect of your life fully first. And then, sprinkle in a little funness too.
Well, yeah, I mean, Geminis are exciting and fun and have a good time and are kinky and wild and fun. Like being in a really boring and weird place and hiding out and accepting horrible, boring stuff is just not your MO. So, sorry, don't know what to tell you. Taurus, we got the moose now, the cows. It's hard, I don't, doing these readings, whenever I see the Hermit or I see that Six of Pentacles, I'm just like, gee, man, this is like so opposite of love. It's just like becoming like just a very empty space. And trying to figure out love in a weird way too, instead of just like go to love and let go of things that aren't love. All right, I know Taurus is, I blended a little Gemini. They got their drama issues. You know what I mean, Taurus? I know that. Let's get back to you and let's get back to your life. Let's see what's going on, Taurus. You pulled the Hierophant reversed. Well, maybe it's time to take the untraditional route. Maybe you're stuck in a traditional kind of rut here. Maybe you're also, needing a relationship that kind of is different or off the cuff. I think you need to go off the cuff. Think that you're in a pattern of doing the same thing and you're kind of in the same value system, but you're kind of in a rut where you're doing the same thing, and I think you need to pull out. I think that you're kind of like in you're showing up for love the same way and it's not working, and then there's got to be a different way. You got to, change your scenery, change your drive. You pulled the transmute as your challenge card. So yeah, changing the way that you are going about your love life, or the kind of partner that you are with, or the kind of partners you go after, or just like, something needs a crazy transmutation and change here. And to pull the Hierophant reverse, it's definitely getting off the traditional path that you've been on. But maybe that's hard for you. It's like you're kind of addicted to the traditional path that's not giving you exactly what you want love-wise. Wow, you pulled a 10 of Cups, at least, as the overall. So if you do this, gosh, you got the ultimate prize. I mean, yeah, sure. Way out there in the ocean, there's an explosion going on, but that's killing all the zombies, and you guys are safe on your little island. So I'd say that, but that's like a whole change, right? I think that there's this beautiful, beautiful love story that is possible in your life, or to come back in your life, or to just be there generally. But I think that there's a transmutation of like, there's been this tradition that you've kind of been so loyal to. Like, I feel like, we're going to get more deeper on what that is. The reason why the transmutation to get through it is a Page of Cups. Yeah, you need to go have fun again and be that exciting self and that fun self, and to let your emotions be known. It's almost like if you're being quiet about your emotions, you're not speaking up emotionally, or you're expecting, maybe that's the tradition. It's like you're expecting others to just keep showing up for you. I'm going to be honest with you, Taurus. Like, not everybody wants to go to the cow farm, Like, sometimes the bulls got to go run, right? The running of the bulls. People like a bull market. They don't like a bear market. And when bulls become a bear, you know what I mean? When you're all hibernating out in your own little world of tradition, like not fun. People like the running of the bulls. They like in the marketplace, whether it's crypto or whether it's fucking Wall Street, they like the bull market. They don't like the bear market. And I got a feeling that you're not running. You're sitting around. What's up with this Hierophant reversed? Well, the Hangman reversed. This getting out of your traditional idea of relationships, getting out of the traditions, getting out of the way that you've been doing things is going to get you out of feeling stuck. So this means that like, exactly what it is. I will give you one more card. I will give you, wow, you got the 6 of Cups upright. You know what? The things that are going to build you good memories, I feel like you're doing things that are just creating more and more bad memories, and you can pull yourself out of that. So, or it's just not a space that makes you feel comfortable, that you keep doing and you keep going to, that you're putting over love, or that love situation is just not a safe place and you gotta get the fuck out. That 10 of Cups that you pulled here, you pulled the 6 of Wands. I mean, you have victory of the ultimate love story in your life, but you gotta get out of this rut. You gotta get out of being stuck. You got to get out of this traditional same pattern. You're in a pattern, and it's not a place that's beautiful, and you keep doing it, and you're afraid to transform it. But that transformation is going to make you let the emotion out and be fun again and be light. You need to be light running. The bull that runs is light. There's too much weight being gained here, Taurus. You're holding on to this really weird road that's not changing things. It needs to change. Protection. That's probably all this 8th house shit you got going on, a solar eclipse coming, but it's transformation too. But maybe it's like, maybe the protection is you're protecting yourself by getting out of the ruts instead of like protecting yourself from staying in a rut. The protection could be causing the rut. Neptune, sacrifice. You got to learn to go with the flow more, and you need to let go of things that are protecting nothing except what you don't want, which is like the delusionment of this ultimate ethereal love that you want to have. But, with Neptune, it's the sacrifice of trusting God and trusting spirit and letting go of things that are not working, and allowing and realizing that God will protect you, not you protect yourself so much. That's, I think, the issue is I think that you need to trust God and surrender to protection instead of you trying to protect all the situations and protect yourself and position yourself in a certain way. Like, how's that going for you? I don't think it's going really well. Don't think it is at all. You got Pluto here, and you got it in the 9th house, and you got it in Libra. Oh, your whole entire belief system about relationships got to be shattered and reset. And I think that you're obsessed too with the story of a love or a relationship that you want to have. or you're obsessed with a relationship that isn't going anywhere that needs to be changed, or you know there's a relationship that can go to the moon and back, but you haven't committed, or you feel that somebody hasn't committed, but you have to look at yourself and your own beliefs about, have you put the energy in there too, and have you transformed? There's a lot of change and a lot of trust that has to be thrown out the window. And when I mean trust thrown out the window, it's your whole idea of the belief of what trust is.
Yeah, allow the expansion to happen. Embrace the change in your life and embrace the change within inside yourself. You know, when we allow these energetic forces to come inside of us, we allow this expansion to take place inside our own universe. That's residing in all of us. You know, our own little tiny universe. That
What
little
are you laughing at?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? You know the thing.
You know what I mean? That
you know
thing
the
that's inside of us all,
the thing.
Some may call it a soul, some may call it energy. Whatever it is inside of you, there needs to be that expansion that you allow to take place. You know, and to look through other doors and look through different avenues in your life that may take you down unbelievable journeys. You know, but you have to be willing to expand. You have to be willing to make that change, and you can't just shut yourself off from the world.
You know the thing. Which way do you want me to go?
The coming and the going of life.
I didn't know if you know this, Craig, but, you know, I know I'm the Leo King, but I'm also now the supreme spiritual leader of all people. And I'm going to make that behind me on a wall, and I'm going to make the logo, and I'm going to sit in front of there, and I'm going to get all the other spiritual networks to tell me that I'm that person. Because you know the thing.
One person caught it in the chat I saw.
But what? You know the thing?
Oh, nothing.
You know what I mean? Virgo.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Oh. But I might just like catch a disease and resign from this, you know? Sorry, it's just too fucking crazy. Yeah, Virgo. Fucking insanity. Gee, many Christmas. Wake up. Okay. Virgos, let's see what's going down. You know the thing? Well, you got a big old blessing coming into your mouth this week with that Four of Pentacles. You know what you really want in your life, so stop playing around with things that you don't want. I think that's number one. And also number two is I think that, you know, sure, this is about values and wants, but it's also like, you know, how bad you want something. So there's definitely a craving here, and because that Four of Pentacles knows what it wants. It's like, yeah, I want this. But do you have it? I think that we're going to find out what's the challenge to this. Ooh, the psychic energy, or just two psychic energies that are coming together. I feel like you feel like, you know, in your love story, or maybe with a person that you've had feelings for, you got the feels for, you feel like the soul energy psychically, you can't tap into them psychically, or you feel like the souls are offline, or the other, like you guys aren't coming together, or there's something off, or the psychic energies, you know, you can't read it well. It's like, you know, you want it because you know the thing, but you don't know the thing. It's so funny that we were saying that right before. But it also is like, remember to listen to your psychic energies and make sure it really is really as the value that you want, because, you know, it might seem better or look good, but might not taste good. We got the Knight of Cups upright, so that's good. At least it's saying that, you know, you are definitely in a place where you're ready to move forward into a better emotional place in your life, and you also are ready to, you know, kind of surf into a much more flow of a love situation and have much more deeper connection. But I feel like the psychic energy's off. Maybe you're with a partner that's not psychic, or maybe you need to work on the deeper spiritual level of connecting on that level, or maybe you just need to like listen to your gut more instead of playing the reality game more, and that'll help you with your emotions, especially if your psychic energy's right. Maybe you lost your psychic energy. Maybe you focused too much on what you wanted in your reality instead of like listening to what the universe was trying to tell you. I don't know. We're going to find out. 10 of Cups. Wow. So that psychic energy is going to bring you that ultimate love story. So listen to what your gut is saying and listen to what your guides are saying. Listen to what Spirit's saying here. Don't keep focusing on the physical. Focus on what it says inside. And even though it might change your physical, it'll give you the ultimate greatness. What is it that you want so bad? Oh, 7 of Cups reversed. You want a sure bet story. You want a dream. You don't want all these possibilities anymore. You want to bring down the equation to one situation. I think that you're over contemplating so many different visions. And I think that what you want is the ultimate vision, which is a good thing. And it's very possible, but you psychically know what it is, but like, why are you doubting your psychic ability here? Maybe you're focused too much on the reality, and the ultimate love story is psychically going to be understood and told to you this week. So it's actually a pretty easy week. And you also did get the Ace of Cups with the Knight of Cups. So you're definitely moving into the better emotional place. I mean, this is a great reading. I think that the only issue is that you questioning your psychic tendencies. Like, don't go into something that psychically feels wrong. Or if there's something psychically off, address that. Especially, but 10 of Cups is kind of weird to address it with because it's like more this ultimate situation. I'll pull you one more card to understand what's up with the psychic energy being off. Hierophant, is that the Emperor reversed? Yeah, it's the Emperor reversed. Ooh. I think that, you know what? If you're psychically connected and you're wanting somebody that you think has power and you know they don't. They're not going to be able to deliver you the love story that you want. If they're not willing to, they can't pick up what you're putting down. And they're not listening to what you're psychically putting out there. So stop trying and putting all this energy and believing in the ultimate path or dream. And stop putting your emotions into, somebody who isn't going to be able to deliver because they ain't psychically showing up for you. Or maybe they're not showing any signs, or there's no synchronicities, or you're the one creating those synchronicities and psychic abilities, but they're not real. Because Virgos can do that. You can psychologically delusionize yourself and go, oh yeah, no, this is wonderful. Especially this week with the Sun square Neptune in your 7th house. Generosity and love. Wow. I think this is the big deal. I think that, it's like you have one of the best readings I've seen. This week for sure. I would say that it's like, is the partner is ready to give everything, right? To be fully generous and give all the love. And are you ready for that too? So if you're complaining that your lover or the person you're into, whatever, you're not really into it, it's because maybe, you're not wanting to be in it. You're not wanting to be generous with it. And you don't feel like they're the ultimate dream. Or if it's the opposite way around, they're not showing up that way. Well, guess what? They ain't it, and stop fucking putting the energy into that one. You got one that's the most simple, clear-cut readings I can give you. But there is a reset emotionally that needs to happen here, and there is a much more moving forward emotionally to the place you want to go instead of getting stuck in this questionable psychic energy of somebody who's not delivering and getting lost in, especially because that 7 of Cups did come with that 4 of Pentacles. You want and you desire something that's of the ultimate, but if generosity of that isn't showing up, then it's not it. And it'll show right up once you let go of that. And you have the fucking overalls, the Love Venus card with the generosity of that. So it better be generous. It better be full blown. Hell yeah. Yeah, Pluto and Libra in the 11th house. You're too much. You think you're too worried about what other people think about the relationship if you were to explode it or get into it or get rid of it. So if you were to break up with somebody, you're too worried about what other people are going to think. You're afraid of well, that'll affect this person, or that'll affect this, and how. That's not going to, who cares? All that shit works itself out. Or if you're afraid to get into something, you're afraid of like, well, how will my friends think? Or I don't know. Or how will it affect my world and how I have it all perfect? And It's like, if you're like, now you're not getting anything that you want because of the smallest little like weird things in the world that are just like, that comes last.
And stay away from the labels.
Yeah.
You know, what was it? The thing that we were talking about? No,
the thing.
The thing. No, but love should be a labelless emotion. You know, we can kind of get stuck into this pattern of, oh, this individual said that they love me, so now I somewhat owe an emotional feeling to them. I owe myself to them because they love me, and that shouldn't be that. You know, nobody owes you anything. You don't owe another individual anything because of that love. You know, love should be there because it's an emotional state, and that because we want to feel that feeling, because we want to have that aspect in our life, and there doesn't need to be that added pressure on it. So if the love is not there, then you must leave. You know, if the love is not there, then what are you doing? You just continue to waste your time. If the love is there, then it can transcend any emotion. It doesn't matter what any other individual is thinking, because that love is there. That love between you and another individual is there, and that's all that truly matters at the end of the day.
I think that you know the thing, dude.
A couple things here and there.
No, but I think you're right. I think it's like labels are, especially for love, like, I think especially after 2020 being such a weird year, it's like, do you really care what the label is of what will be attached to you of other people's projections about what you do with your happiness? Like, if you're at that place in your life, then you might as well just like, I don't know. There's enough things in the world that are trying to fucking scare you. You might as well just add that one on top. And what else do you have left now at that point? Pisces. Last three. Last three of the zodiac. Let's see what's going on with you. There we go. Pisces. Let's see what's going on with Pisces. All right. All right. Well, you got the Five of Pentacles, the oh shit card reversed. That's good. It's like you're getting out of either hanging out with people that have been victims, or that they just like, I don't know, or you yourself. It's like you've been through kind of, I think, a deep turmoil here where you felt like you were like literally in turmoil, or you were literally like with an energy that was not making you feel good and making you feel like you were in a very bad place, and that's over now. So, I mean, you don't want to fuck this week up because, you know, like you're out of a fuck up week. So, you know, don't go back into a fucked up situation. Remember that. And so this is where, you know, your issue is. You focus. Like, this is time to focus on something that is awesome, that is you getting out of, you know, crappy situations. Because that Five of Pentacles is some crappy situations in love, especially, you know, partners that, you know, are kind of like hurt and you might have even gone through some pain with them or whatever. But I think that your issue is like, there's things to focus on right now, but where's your focus at? It's time to focus on the love situation more. That's going into a better place in your life, because sometimes, you know, we can get out of something crazy and then something good can happen, and then you can kind of like go, well, everything's fine, and then like lose focus, and it might turn back to shit again because of your focus. You got to stay focused on where you're going. You got to also understand where you're aiming right now. Where are you going to aim? Are you going to aim back towards, you know, similar situations, or are you going to aim at a new situation? Pulled the King of Wands upright. Well, this is definitely a big, powerful energy coming into your life this week for love. I'm definitely feeling more empowered and happy about love, and also possibly definitely a partner that definitely is all about love. I feel like that you were focused on somebody who is not about love. And so this is definitely shifting your focus into a much more powerful King of Wands, the one that shows up, that's empowered and on the throne of love. What was that issue with focus that you're getting through? King of Wands. Wow, you pulled it again. So you definitely have to focus on the energy of that powerful person that has love, because I feel like that for you, I think that you've been focused on people that had no love. And I think that that's been the issue, Pisces, is that you've been focused on not loving situations. And I think that love is the ultimate thing. You pulled 2 King of Wands and you got focus there, and you got 5 of Pentacles reverse. I would say that's pretty good. I'd say that's ultra good. Why'd you pull 5 of Pentacles? Wow, 6 of Grails. You know what? You're ready to build good memories, not oh shit memories. And that's finally able for you to happen. This has been a card that's popped up a lot today. So this is all about, that inner child, that beautiful setting that can have great things happen in your life. And focus on those, especially you got King of Wands twice. Like, come on, it's like double kinged up with love. You can really shift your life for a much more positive love story this week, Pisces. I think that you've been through some real bad shit here in the past, especially with that 6 of Cups. It's like now it's time to really build the good memories, not be stuck in like really tumultuous bad ones. You pulled this King of Wands because you pulled the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. I think, it's interesting. I think that you have finally let go of what is not of the full love situation. But at the same token, 4 of Pentacles is like when the love shows up, are you willing to hold it and have it and treasure it? So it's like, that's where I think maybe the issue is like, maybe you're in disbelief on how fast things can turn from hell to heaven. But when heaven shows up, are you willing to accept and hold and keep holding on to heaven and let go of hell? Because sometimes, you might be like, well, okay, heaven's here. Maybe I want a little hell back again. It's like, no, you don't. So hold on to the heaven. Hold on to the beautiful things of life. You pulled drive. Wow. Definitely the universe is telling you to drive into this extreme, powerful, new, more beautiful love story situation here in your life that's taking you in a much better direction. And you got it with Leo. You got it with love. So you got to drive to the will, to the little Leo, to the energy of love. And you got King of Wands twice. It's very Leo energy, right? It's the King of Love. So this is just all over, just saying you're pulling out of a really crappy situation, could be an earth sign, and you've got a lot of fire energy here and tons of love, but you got to be willing to hold that love, and that it's going to take that courage and that power, but that drive. And if you do that, it'll take you on the drive of your life, the drive of the will to the love of your life. So, fuck. Virgo Pisces just got 2 badass readings. I'd say that Pisces got the ultimate reading, though, of all. Fuck. You got 2 King of Pentacles, and you got the Leo card, and you got drive, and you got 6 of Cups, and you got, it's crazy. Now you got Scorpio 11th house Venus. Wow, okay. I think that, you know what, this is about a new world that a relationship's going to change your life with. But I think that one of the issues is learning to let go of like that whole idea of the world that you've been in, the kind of friends you hang around, the kind of people that you're around. Is it conducive to the kind of love that's going to try and come in? Like, are you wasting your time because you've been in such bad situations with people that were kind of there helping you? But like, are those people doing the right thing? So actually the kind of people you're around can affect the love situation. But I also mean, it also could be just like that this is a new world that's building that you're bringing in that's going to change your life, a kind of person that's much more intense in the world that you actually want. But that means that your world will change with it, and you need to be prepared for that. And maybe that's why with that 4 of Pentacles, you're unsure about holding on to this new story because you're too afraid of your world changing, even though it went through hell. And in order for the world to be better, it needs to go through a change. And I would do that, especially as you have Saturn and Jupiter about to come in your 12th house. So.
Yeah. Potential life-changing experiences. When you do go through the depths and you make it out, that's a life-changing experience. That's a foundation, a strong foundation that you can build off of always. But if you're going to revert back to maybe some of those individuals that you went through those hard times with, if they aren't on that same level as you anymore, if they didn't continue to pursue, then that's going to affect your relationships going forward. That's going to kind of pull you back into a stagnant place where there's going to be that love loss, and that anticipation of growth is not going to be there. It's going to be fine with just being down at the bottom. You can't see my hand because it's down at the bottom. Now, what's that love that you're allowing to come into your life that's going to transcend, that's going to uplift you? So sometimes you have to kind of forget, you know, they say forgive and forget. Sometimes you just got to forget and let it wash away and allow this new love to kind of take place. Allow this new happiness. Go get it though. You have to be confident in your decisions. And that's not even like, I'm sure of this. It's knowing. It's knowing. It's not just kind of guessing and saying, okay, yeah, I'm confident in this decision. No, it's actually knowing this purpose, knowing this path that you're going on, and actually going out and getting it and making that shit happen for yourself. Make it.
Yeah, it's raining love, and you gotta go into it and take your umbrella down, because I think that you've been in the opposite. I think you've been in toxic acid rain, and you're so used to the umbrella. Well, when it's raining love, this is filling up the aquarium of love water. So take the love water. Last two signs. Cancers. That means the last sign is, I'm paying attention, is Capricorns. Well, they're having a rough week, so no wonder they needed the last one. All right, Cancer, let's see what's going on with you with love this week. Pulled the Justice card upright. Interesting card to get. I think that, you know, you have to make a choice in yourself this week about what you want to do with your love life. I mean, when you're sitting on the scales of justice, you're weighing a lot out, but you have to also come through with a decision, right? So I know there's a lot to weigh out, but at the end of the day, you got to make a choice. There's a choice coming into the end of this week, and it's about your divine justice and the divine love that you deserve in your life. Your challenge that you got is the nature spirits. Oh, this is always a weird one. I would say that, you know, I feel that, you know, it's like maybe the injustice that you might do to yourself this week, the challenge is that you feel like you've got to be, you're giving just energy to energy that's not natural. So it's almost like maybe you're in a love situation that's not natural and you're like giving it justice that it's okay. Or, you know, like nature is giving you this spiritual energy that has shown up, and you got to follow it. And if you don't, then you're not really giving yourself the justice of what it is. I think that it deserves a chance to be heard. I think that you have to allow yourself to hear what Spirit's bringing to you this week, instead of like say, no, you know, it's not worth bringing it to court to even look at the evidence. You have evidence to look at that's from Spirit, but it's almost like you don't want to. You don't want to change the nature of your life or the nature of the way that your whole entire world is looking here. Your overall card that you picked here is the World card. It's in the World. It's so funny. I mean, you're at a completion in your life and a new world. And I think that that's what you need to listen to the evidence and make sure that it's coming from this. What is Spirit saying? What is the natural way that Spirit wants you to go? And you need to listen to it and bring that into the court, because you're at the end of a way of your life in love and relationships, and it moving into a new tide. And I think that, you know, you have to be willing to accept that as the evidence to come in instead of deny it. And also at the same time, deny that your world has come to a close in love stories to build a new love story. Page of Swords reversed. Like, you don't want to listen to the message that you're getting from Spirit, or you don't want your world to change at all. Like, you just don't want to hear that info. That's what's kind of interesting. It's like the truth is coming out of what needs to change. And I would say this is within you. It's definitely reversed. I think that, you know, within you, you know, you have to listen to your inner guidance here. And I think that inner guidance is deeply connected to, you know, the fairness you have to give yourself. I think that when it comes to partnerships too, you have to be willing to, you know, I think that you have to be fair, because I think that there's a part of this too where, you know, maybe you might be unjust, or maybe you think certain things. Page of Swords reverse is definitely not thinking straight, or maybe has wrong information, or doesn't have the information and doesn't know what to do with it. The reason why you pulled that Justice card is, wow, you got the Page of Cups in reversed. So it's like, I think that at the same token, it's like the emotional levels of communication right now in your life are a little confusing. One, it starts with yourself, right? It's like you're expecting others to kind of communicate the emotions that you want. And if you're not getting that, you feel like that they're, on the chopping block, it feels like. Or it's the opposite too. Somebody's not giving you the emotions you want and you're still giving them justice, but this would be going on a long time. I got a feeling though that it's almost like you need to speak up. You've got Page of Swords reversed and you got Page of Cups reversed. So there's a lot about the communication that you need to bring out and that you need to weigh out. And I think you've been weighing a lot of this out, but you haven't known how to deal with it. When it comes to that World card, you got the Queen of Cups. I mean, you setting yourself onto a new world and, completing an old cycle that you've been in your love story and starting a new love story situation of life and is going to give you the ultimate feeling that you can have that true, natural, balanced, justice place in your life. Because I feel like you're at a place to where things are off balance for you. And I don't think that you have much left to hold on to in the old world that you have been living in, the way relationships have been going. Like there's not much like there. And I think that it's like there's a whole new set of places to go, but I think that you're confusing yourself. I think that you're lost kind of in inner guidance places. And I think that emotionally, you're not giving yourself the justice it deserves. Like you're kind of not allowing yourself to hear emotion the way that you want. Like you're kind of like in a funk right now. But it's all because it's trying to make this amazing new world full of all the emotional things that you've ever wanted, but it's going to be a major event. It's not going to be a minor event that you want. It's going to be major because these are very minor cards, the pages, and they're reversed. So it's like you want this just place to happen in a very minor way. You don't want natural order from spirit of a new world to be major. You want it to be minor, and I'm here to tell you it's going to be major. You got guidance here. So, I think that a lot of this is like, what has Spirit been telling you? Like, what is the guidance from your Ascended Masters and the higher ups have been guiding you towards? Look at that. Saturn return, age. Oh, that's kind of weird. Have you been guided by your old age? Have you been guided almost in a weird way by playing this like an old person? I'm just going to be honest. Saturn return. I mean, sure, we learn a lot and we grow in life and we make choices. I already said that you have to make a big choice this week. It's going to be a big one. You got World card, you got Saturn return card, you got Justice card. But the guidance, I think that, are you taking the guidance from like that kind of elder within you? And I think that that's like, if you really are going to take it from the elder place, well, it should be to make sure that you make your life the best, right? To attain your ultimate goals, opposed to restricting yourself and being like, maybe, no, I'm too old for this, and being guided kind of in the negative form of that. I feel like we have to give you one more card about this. Well, you did get on this one, and this is a very weird card because I feel like, at the end of the day, the Seven of Pentacles reversed is, you got to be willing to put work in to take back the investment, because the Seven of Pentacles here is like in reverse. It's like, what are you putting your energy into, and are you really getting an investment back? And I would say that these are things that are distractions from relationships. It's almost like whether it's work, but you're getting nothing back. You know what I mean? Because you can't avoid that. You need to figure this whole situation out. That, you're kind of left with like needing this major moment here. And I feel that that's going to be a payoff, but it's going to seem like a lot of work. But I think that you're tired. But I think that you're tired because you're kind of like, you're like a trout going upstream when really it's salmon that go upstream. So. You got Sixth house, Libra, Mercury. Well, you're definitely having to figure out your reality about your relationships. You're also going to have to communicate very specifically what you want in relationships. But I also think at the same time, you're going to have to balance out the mental stresses you have about your relationships. There's problems that you need to figure out in yourself. And there's also things in your reality that need to be figured out for a relationship to work. So it's like that's the whole major thing, is the reality shift itself, and the physical work shift and your schedule shift and all those kind of things that are going to have to balance your life out and also bring in, or not, the relationship stuff. So you definitely are like, you're going to have to get your hands dirty, and it's definitely going to be a major reset, but it's going to fill you up fully, but of your world. But if you're not willing to do that and you just want minor stuff to happen, and maybe you're getting way too critical on people, or you're focused too much on the small. And again, this is about the big. So
don't allow yourself to get lost in the distractions of day-to-day life that can kind of impede the growth of any relationship. You know, sometimes we kind of get lost up and get caught up in the motions. And then the relationship just kind of dwindles into some boring day by day, some mundane conversations. Oh, how was your day? Good, honey. How was yours? Good, honey. You know, and then that lust, that appreciation is completely gone. And it's time that, you know, maybe you're saying dig deep, you know, maybe you got to go on a little trip out to the forest or some shit, good. Go roll around that dirt, you know, bring that lust back, spark those fairies and those fairy tales back into that love story that you're living.
Yeah, because I feel like it's important, because if you're focused on so many little things and you're not willing to get your hands dirty to make a big change, and you're not willing to do, you're doing all the work, but you're doing it in areas that are compromising the element of the relationship, or a possible relationship to happen, or, you know, avoiding a relationship situation. There's definitely a lot that, I like that you said the daily grind can definitely be focused too much on that to kind of avoid the truth of, you know, either A, you don't want to be in a relationship, or B, you don't want to deal with your relationship currently. So you get caught up in the daily grind to kind of get out of it, and that creates more stress and yada, yada, yada. Well, Capricorns, it's the last one, man, the Caps. And I know this was it's a very intense week, Cap, and you got to hold strong. And that's not just about love. I'm kind of going on overall there, and I talk about it deep on High Vibe for you all this week. So I feel you. I'm even taking a minute in my nicotine for you on this one before we finish off this whole segment. All right, Cappies. Well, you got the Nine of Wands. Oh, she looks happy. You know, we pulled this earlier. I forgot which sign got the bunny. Oh, the Libras. So, I hate to say this one, Capricorn, but I think that, you know, you're realizing you definitely are kind of holding on and protecting something, or even just, I think that you're really reflecting on whether or not in a relationship situation, like, what are the walls that are happening here? What is it worth holding on to something? Is it worth blocking something out? I mean, we're going to get deeper on this, but you're definitely going, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck's going on? Death is your issue here. You're afraid of ending a situation, whether that's you blocking love from coming in, or staying in a situation that you're pretty much over defending. And you're afraid of the death and what that will be like. You pulled the 10 of Pentacles upright, which is one of the best cards, actually, I think, in love stories, because it definitely is about you making sure that you're at the ultimate place, to the foundation to build the ultimate life of family, and to have all your friends and have like everybody in life that could fit into your life with a partnership, and just like have that open space that just fills with so much love and compassion and happiness. But, you know, it's like the foundational roots. Like, are you in a place where your relationship has a place to grow, or is it not growing at all? Has it grown? And is it long term? Has it grown, but this is as far as it got after this many years? Is it capped? Is this all it's going to be? I think that's a big question. Is this all it's going to be? Or if you're single, like, oh man, I've been single for so long, I've been blocking love. I'm afraid of probably sex. I'll be honest with you, the death card's there. Not all Capricorns. I'm saying like the single ones that keep defending themselves because they don't want to go build anything great. Like, it's almost like, especially with this woman and the way that this mirror is, I feel like it's like you're looking at yourself wrong in the mirror. Like, you're not that. What's the shadow of this stuff coming up? 7 of Cups reversed. It's like you're too afraid to see that there's so many possibilities out there, Capricorn. You're too afraid to end everything the way that's going in your love life, and you're too afraid to look at bigger dreams, that there's more options out there. There's more things. It's like you're afraid of what that would feel like, or you don't think that there's anything else out there. So you want to, where we get the term, we cap things off. Oh, Capricorn. Yeah, we cap it off here. You want to be capped off, Cap? You build the 7 of Pentacles upright. You know what? It's time to see, this is what you got to do. Like any, like financial advisor or anything like that, or any CEO or anything like that, you have to get to a point to be like, okay, I've invested a bunch of my energy into something. Am I getting a return back? And for you, this is what you're at. You're at was this worth all the energy I put into in my relationship life? If I've been single because I wanted to do this, was it worth it? If I've been in this relationship, has it been worth it? And you have to ask yourself if that return, sure, might have been an investment that gained you knowledge or something. But no, with this, it's almost like, are you getting that ultimate return? Or is it just work now at this point? Now you're not getting any return back. You're not making anything, it's not moving anything forward. And the growth aspect of this, is it really fulfilling the growth? You did get the 5 of Pentacles. Wow. So it doesn't feel like you've grown. It feels like you've been capped off. I feel like Capricorns kind of feel like they don't know if this thing's going to go anywhere more, that you're feeling the limitations now, like especially with Saturn at the end of your sign, finally on the last 10 days of it being here for the last 3 years, especially with Mars at the bottom of your chart that's retrograde, the hole that you've been in. I think that you're realizing that, you've kind of capped yourself off. You haven't seen much growth. And you gotta ask if you're willing to keep putting in that work and seeing if that's the investment, if that's where you want to be capped off at. There's salary caps in the NBA, you know what I mean? There's salary caps in the NFL, you know what I mean? There's salary caps, right? Teams can't spend a certain amount of money on certain people. Or are you gonna go to baseball where there is no salary cap and you can have a Mike Trout and get almost $500 million for just one person, I think that you have to really start to question on whether or not you want to open up the doors to more possibility, or you want to just stay capped off of what you're at. That's where you're at. It's very simple. Inner knowing. Ooh, we're going to see what that inner knowing is about. Aries, what you want. You know what you want, and you are afraid to push it through. What? I'm going to give you one more card. What is it about? Ooh, King of Cups reverse. You know that your inner knowing is you're not emotionally confident in what you are putting your emotions in. You're not feeling that you are the king of emotion that you want to have. You feel like you've lost control of not having emotion. You don't have, it's like I hate to say it, but it just feels like emotionless. Meaning that either you're at a loss of emotion because there is none coming towards you and you desperately want it, or you're in something that you've crowned as the emotional thing in your life and it's not what you want. Cancer, 2nd house, Pluto. Wow. You have to get to the bottom of what you really actually want to attain emotionally and see if it's there. And if it's not there, you have to change it and you have to transform it and you have to put a death to it and a rebirth emotionally. And it's also attractiveness too. I hate to say it. If you're emotionally even attracted, you might be I'll be honest, Capricorn, you might be not emotionally attracted anymore. And you also have to kind of get to the bottom of what is the thing and be honest with yourself. What is that inner knowing? What is that thing that you want to attract into your life emotionally? And what does it look like? And what do you got to do to actually change the physical nature to it that you emotionally are holding on to? You either got to let it go or you got to own that energy and bring it in to have it. So that's it.
You can have it. you can have it. You just got to tap into that life force. You got to tap into that Martian energy. And you got to actually go out and get it. You got to actually pursue what it is that you're looking for. But first, you have to dive deep and you have to figure that out. You know, you can't just be blindly walking through the forest, blindly walking through the field, and say, "Oh, aha, I found myself." That's not how it's going to work. You know, you got to actually dig deep and process a little bit about what it is that you're going for and what that is that you're searching for, and then put that energy force right into it and go out and get that. I think we all could take a little lesson from that, not blindly walking around aimlessly, walking on this existence of Earth, and actually digging deep within inside ourselves and figuring out what is it that I actually want, being truthful and being honest with ourselves when we do come up with that answer, holding ourselves accountable as well.
Yeah, are you walking on a dream, or are you walking on
fucking eggshells in your own
literally,
mind?
or I was gonna say like
Tripping over yourself?
dead coral reef?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm done eating my nicotine and I'm talking to you all. I love you all very much. We're gonna miss Craig next week, but we all have him in he's supported. He's gonna be good, and I'll be here next week though. I'll be wrapping it off. I love you all. We all appreciate you. Friday, I am doing my special horoscope, which is going to be all announced here in the next couple of days. So make sure you follow me on my socials, all down below. Or you have the app. It's a free app, like Craig said at the beginning of the show. We have an awesome exclusive high vibe section of free content. But if you want to be a member and get all the exclusive content, which I don't even know how many videos we're doing a week now, but it's close to, if I'm doing 25 a week and there's all the dailies from everybody else, I mean, we're talking about 40, 50 videos a week.
Lots and lots.
Lots. And exclusive shows and so forth. So, you know, definitely join, and I'll send out the notification, and I'll be promoting it on my dailies, and I'll be promoting it, of course, for Deep Astrology. That's on Wednesday, but you see it Thursday if you're on YouTube. And it's going to be about the Grand Conjunction and 2021. So I'm going to give you my survival guide for 2021. How I gave you my survival guide for 2020. And that's free to watch in our exclusive High Vibe section. Go to highvibe.tv for free, or download our apps for free and go in that exclusive section and watch and see if all my predictions for 2020 came true. Thanks so much for all your support. Truly appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you all this week, and especially on Friday when I do that special paid video that's going to be about this grand conjunction that we're having of Jupiter and Saturn, and my predictions of the Aquarian energy coming in, and more importantly, the big aspects of 2021. I'm also going to cover the eclipse deeper because that's going to be on Monday. Love is on your side, everyone, as long as you follow whatever it is in your heart that you want, and you are willing to have the courage to do that and create that story. It's fine. I was going to say that would have ended it nice, but we'll end it there with Craig definitely needs to go get surgery, it looks like. Just kidding. Love you, brother. Love you all. Peace.
See ya.